Hey everyone, Adam Gates here, realtor and associate broker with Home Authority Real Estate here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And in today's video, I just got a simple question for you. Do you want to buy a home, but you can't because you don't think you'll qualify credit-wise, or have you already applied for a home or tried to get a mortgage and the bank or the lender has told you no? It happens to a lot of people every single day. Um, it, it, Even though the market has picked up and improved dramatically over the last several years since the real estate market crash, it is still a challenge for a lot of folks to obtain a mortgage. So if this has happened to you, if that's the case, and you're feeling down and disappointed, I have some really excellent news for you. There is a way for you to purchase a home that does not involve a bank, doesn't involve any kind of credit qualifying, and it's called owner financing. So in today's video, I'm just going to kind of give you a brief synopsis of what owner financing is and how it works. Um, and at the end of this, after watching this video, I hope that you'll give me a call so I can give you additional details on how the program works, so we can sit down and talk and see how exactly owner financing can benefit you and finally help you realize your dream of owning your very own home. So let's just kind of dive right into it here. Again, my name is Adam Gates. The easiest way to reach me is by calling or texting me, and my number is 505-353-1347. And you can also email me, adam@homeauthority.com. Our office is located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Our address is 3507 Wyoming Boulevard Northeast, Suite A, and that's Albuquerque. The zip is 87111. We are located just south of Comanche, on the west side of Wyoming, right next to State Farm Insurance. You can't miss us. So give me a call, shoot me an email, drop by the office and pay me a visit. Let's sit down and have a chat. So what is owner financing? Really, really simple. There's no bank involved. So essentially, the seller of the property has kind of opened a door of home ownership to buyers who don't have the credit necessary to qualify for a traditional mortgage. So the seller of the property becomes the bank, and he's going to hold the note for a predetermined amount of time, upon the expiration of which a balloon payment is due. At that time, you, the buyer, should be in a position to either refinance the home through a lender traditionally or make the final balloon payment, which I know not everybody can do. But during this period, the seller retains legal title to the property while you gain equitable title, which means while you don't hold a deed to the property, you do have a financial and ownership interest in it. Now, it's important to understand that when purchasing a home on a real estate contract, you will need to be actively working to improve your credit to a point where you can refinance the home on your own when the contract becomes due. I can't stress this enough. The typical call, or the point at which the balloon or refinance is due, is 3 to 5 years. That's about average for our real estate contract deals. And for the vast majority of people, that is plenty of time to rebuild your credit. Remember, the ultimate goal of an REC is to not only realize your dream of owning a home, it's also an excellent opportunity to invest in yourself and greatly improve your financial future. You have to have a strong commitment to your future if you're going to enter into this kind of agreement. There is absolutely no point in doing a real estate contract and purchasing a home this way if you're not going to be working to improve your credit and refinance the property down the road, because it's just not going to happen. Your credit won't fix itself, not even in 3 to 5 years. So you have to be working on it, and you got to be committed to it as well. Now, again, typically RECs range from 3 to 5 years in length, but occasionally we do find sellers who are willing to carry the note for up to 30 years. Some will carry it for 10, some will carry it for 15. It essentially becomes an investment for them. And while they're not easy to find, they are out there, and it offers a huge advantage to you because you won't have the same kind of pressure deadline to build your credit and refinance the home like you would on a standard 3 to 5 year contract. So we do find those from time to time. I'm pretty good at sniffing those out. So there's always that wonderful possibility. So how does it work? The first step is obviously to call me. You want to talk to somebody who's an expert in the owner finance process, somebody who knows his way around a real estate contract for your safety, to protect yourself. Um, Together, we're going to sit down. We're going to discuss exactly what you want in a new home, what part of town you want to live on, what you'd like your payments to be, how much you have available immediately to put down. I'm going to cover that more in detail here on the next couple of screens. Um, but as an owner finance expert, I'm going to help you navigate the ins and outs of the process, and I'm going to assist you in putting together a budget so we can determine exactly how much home you're looking for, how much you should put down, and what a comfortable monthly payment would be for you. You don't want to go in and buy a house that you can't afford and be house poor, as we call it, where all your money that you're bringing in on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis is going towards a house payment, and you don't have any money for anything else. I will be your guide, and we'll be able to sit down and figure out exactly what is going to fit into your budget, because I want to make sure that you're finding not just the perfect home for you, but the perfect payment as well, so that you're comfortable and you can live and enjoy life in your new home. Very, very important. Now, talking about down payments, all owner finance deals are going to require a down payment. I have not seen one yet that didn't, and they range anywhere from 8 to 20% of the purchase price. Now, don't let that kind of throw you off, because it does vary widely from deal to deal. Every seller is different, every home is different, every owner finance transaction is different. And there's some negotiation room in there as well. But typically we see it 8 to 10% is what they're requesting. Now, the down payment is absolutely crucial to the process, because it covers the costs of the transaction for the seller. It covers the commissions for me on the buying side. It covers the commission for the agent on the selling side. It covers closing fees, doc fees, things of that nature. But it also shows the seller that you're serious about following through with the transaction, because you're making an investment of your own money into the purchase. You have skin in the game. Remember, there's no bank involved, so the seller is assuming all of the risk, and your down payment really helps to offset that risk for the seller, but it also reduces the principal amount that you're paying on. So that covers down payment. We'll just kind of move on from there. Now, once you've told me exactly what you're looking for in a home, I'm going to immediately begin searching listings that offer owner financing according to the home specifications that you've given me. I'm going to email you those listings. You're going to have some time to review those. Let me know which ones you like. And then I'm going to contact the brokers for those listings and get the details on specific terms they're offering, and I'll present them to you. We'll also schedule time to visit the homes if you'd like and take a closer look at them. It's very important that you do. And then if there's a specific home that you fall in love with, but the terms aren't quite in line with what you've budgeted, I'm going to negotiate on your behalf to see if we can make a better deal for you. Once we find a home that you're happy with and we've got terms that we can agree on, I'm going to put together an official offer package, and I'm going to send it off to be signed by you and by the other parties. Once they accept that offer, I'm going to collect your down payment from you. I'm going to deliver all the necessary paperwork and the down payment to the title or escrow company, and we're going to schedule a closing date, which typically can be within 1 to 2 weeks. Fast closing and move-in compared to traditional mortgages. Closing, you're going to sign the real estate contract, some other paperwork, and after that, the home is yours. Keep in mind that there are some decisions that will have to be made between the offer going out and closing, and we'll kind of discuss those more in detail when we talk, because I don't have a whole lot of time on this video to cover them. But these are gonna be things like choosing whether or not to close with a title company versus an escrow company, and the risks and the cost differences between those two, as well as stuff about appraisals, surveys, and home inspections. Now, what are the benefits? The benefits are obvious. The first one, the biggest one, is you have the opportunity to be a homeowner regardless of your credit situation when you purchase a home on a real estate contract. The qualifying is very easy. Typically, there are some occasions where the seller might want to see a credit report, or might want to see some kind of a budget letter to make sure that you kind of covered your bases and made sure that you can afford to pay for the home before he makes the final decision to sell, because ultimately it is his final decision. Um, Other benefits, every payment that you make goes to reduce the principal on the house, just like a traditional mortgage would. There are no lender fees associated with a real estate contract. Quick closing and move in. There's no underwriting processes or hoops or anything to jump through. We can close fast. I've seen them close in 3 days if you want to move in that quickly. You also reap the tax benefits of ownership. So the payments that you're making are going towards principal and interest. You get to write those off at the end of the year, just like a normal homeowner would. You own the property, so you have the right to improve it. So if you want to change landscaping, if you want to paint it, if you want to remodel the kitchen and knock out a wall, it's your home to do so with. So you have the right to do that. And then the obvious advantage, having the opportunity to improve your credit over time. Some sellers will report your payments to the credit bureaus, and those on-time payments will help dramatically improve your credit score over time. And then, of course, the obvious thing: the property may increase in value while you're paying on it. You own the property. Property values in the last 3 years in Albuquerque have increased 5% each year over the last 3 years. So the possibility of your home increasing in value as you're paying on it is very, very good. What are the disadvantages? In the spirit of transparency, there's risk associated with every transaction, being a real estate contract or a standard home purchased through FHA or VA or a conventional mortgage. Probably the biggest disadvantage with a real estate contract is the home is typically sold as is, which means the seller is not going to be required or obligated to make any repairs to the home. We'll cover that more when we speak. There are some ways to kind of make sure you're not buying somebody else's problem, and I have strong recommendations on what you should do in that situation. Purchase price may be higher for a real estate contract, and that's because there's really no appraisal involved and no bank saying, well, the house has to appraise for what you're selling it for. Not the case with a real estate contract. The seller can essentially set the price of the home and say that's what I'm going to sell it for in an REC. So that's a factor. You will pay typically a higher interest rate versus a traditional mortgage. Anywhere from 2 to 3 points is typically what we see. And then there's the possibility of title issues now and later on. We'll cover that more in detail when we speak. There's the balloon payment, obviously, at the end of the call period, which, if you haven't been working on your credit and gotten yourself into a position to refinance, that's going to be a problem. And that's going to result in the possibility of default and the loss of your investment. And the seller, unlike a normal bank that has to go through a lengthy legal process, seller can foreclose on you quickly, and you're going to lose your investment, you're going to lose your down payment, everything you paid towards the house, plus the seller gets the house back. So yeah, those are things that you definitely need to be thinking about before getting into a real estate contract. Now, I'm asked this question all the time: is it safe? This is a very important question. And the answer to that question is, as long as you're working with a realtor who is experienced in owner financing, who knows his way around a real estate contract and the process, the answer is an absolute resounding yes. One of my primary responsibilities as your personal real estate advisor is to work on your behalf, always acting in your best interest. I strongly discourage buying a home on a real estate contract without an expert by your side working for you. There are many real estate contract and rent-to-own scams out there on Craigslist and on Facebook, and I have the knowledge and the expertise necessary to sniff them out and keep you protected. I have heard story after story about people falling for a scam on Craigslist, and they lose thousands and thousands of dollars because they didn't have somebody walking them through the process. Never, ever do a real estate contract or owner finance without a realtor experienced in the process right by your side. I can't stress that enough. Now, continuing on with is it safe? This is why it's safe. When you're working with a realtor, all transactions are going to be handled and closed by a reputable title or escrow company. They're never closed outside of title or escrow. You want the people with the legal knowledge looking over the paperwork, making sure that you're protected and that the seller's protected and that everything is on the up and up. Critical. All the contracts and docs are reviewed by an attorney. Again, to protect you and the seller and make sure that everything is legal and on the up and up. This is really important too. All payments are made by you to the escrow company holding the contract. They are never made directly to the seller. This ensures that if there's an underlying mortgage on the property, that your payment is going to cover that underlying mortgage first, and the property taxes and the homeowner's insurance before any monies are distributed to the seller. That protects you, and it protects your investment, because if you're paying the seller directly, there's always that possibility that the seller won't make his mortgage payments. The house goes into foreclosure and you've lost everything because the bank is going to take the house back. That's why we always make sure that the payments are handled through the escrow company to protect you. The escrow company will always hold the contract and the title documents for the duration of the agreement. Once everything transfers over, the escrow company will transfer title into your full title into your name. And then all transactions are recorded with the county clerk. Because again, we are transferring title of the property. So what's next? It's easy. Let's talk. It starts with the conversation. While this process might sound complicated, I've really tried to kind of simplify it here. It really isn't that complicated. It's just something that you have to be very careful with. And you need a realtor who's experienced in this process. You need somebody who's an expert. I am an expert. To be by your side, to walk you through this process, to make sure that you have the best possible experience, that you're getting the best possible deal, and to make sure that you're protected. If you have credit challenges, if you've experienced hard times in your life, we all have, who hasn't, don't let that stop you from realizing your dream of owning a home. Contact me today. Let's start the conversation, and let me show you how owner financing can work for you. I am your local owner finance expert, and I am excited and looking forward to helping you find your where. If you're a homeowner and you're interested in selling your home, owner finance is a very good option. There's several advantages and benefits to you in selling your home that way. So if you're interested in learning more about that, contact me today. I'll have the answers to all your questions. I really appreciate you guys watching this video today. I hope it's been informative and helpful, and I hope that it will kind of open the door for you to pick up the phone, open up your computer, send me a text, send me an email, give me a call. Let me show you how owner financing works. Let me show you how easy it is, and let me help you achieve your dream of owning a home. I'm really looking forward to helping you find your where. Thanks. Have a great day.